Be right there, D-Man. Frank Wembly paused before slamming the receiver into the cradle, giving Derek time to hang up first. No point in letting the boss know you're not happy to be called in on your day off. At 0500. 5 minutes later, he was dressed. 15 minutes later, he swung his pickup down the approach road to the Triple D Ranch. 2 minutes later, he parked by the ranch house back door, strode through the mudroom into the kitchen. The aroma of coffee helped his mood. A little. Tim Halloran, one of the other ranch hands, leaned against the kitchen counter, sipping coffee from a stainless steel travel mug. Frank filled one for himself. After that first restorative sip, he found his voice. "Where's everybody?" "Loading the horses. Glad you came in. D-Man doesn't need more trouble," Tim added in a rare show of seriousness. "You don't say no to the boss," Frank said, especially when the ranch's budget sheets, although Derek would never admit it, straddled a fine line between the red and the black. "You didn't leave some sweet nubile delight behind, did you?" Tim grinned and lifted his coffee. As if. There was the wise-cracking cowboy Frank knew. He ignored the dig and screwed the lid on his mug. "We should get moving." They made their way to the barn, where the horse trailer was hitched to the ranch's F-350 pickup. Derek's gloved hands tapped a staccato on the steering wheel. Frank climbed into the back seat along with Tim. Bryce Barrett, the other ranch hand, secured the tailgate on the trailer and hoisted himself into the shotgun seat. Frank slouched against the door and finished his coffee. When they arrived at the far north pasture, Frank helped Bryce unload the horses. "D-Man didn't give me many details when he called." No need to mention the boss's call had yanked Frank out of a much-needed deep sleep cycle, and half his words hadn't registered. "Fencing down," Bryce said. "Cattle go and walk about." Bryce saved his lengthy conversations for the animals. Damned if Frank didn't swear they understood. He wouldn't be surprised if one of them talked back one day. Derek swung out of the cab and joined them. "Order of business. First priority, we find the strays. Bring them back. Frank, put your tracking skills to use and see if you can figure out where the herd got off to. Sheriff's office called early this morning. A man reported a couple of cows alongside the county road, a couple more roaming down the middle. Said he almost hit one, but he couldn't pinpoint his location. He wasn't from around here if he didn't know enough to check mile markers." "Time to do your magic, Sherlock," Tim said, using Frank's handle from their Army Ranger days. Frank glared at him. Tracking wasn't magic. It boiled down to observation, experience, and common sense. Bryce led Shadow and Pumpkin out of the trailer and chatted with them while Frank headed to see what kind of a trail he could pick up. It hadn't rained in over a week. The land around the pastures was lined with aspen and pine trees, interspersed with granite boulders. "Did whoever reported the cattle say which way they were going? Might save time." "East," Derek said. Frank scanned the pasture. To his recollection, they were grazing 52 head in here this rotation, steers and heifers. Not ready for market, which was good, but if they had to be replaced, it would set the ranch back a hefty sum. Unusual for all 52 to have wandered off. Although cattle were herd animals, in the pre-dawn hours, most should have been asleep, and a few meandering away shouldn't have initiated all of them following. Derek knew this. He'd been raised on the Triple D. Frank strode to a spot where the earth appeared churned up, crouched for a closer look. Damn sage was blooming, and he sneezed, multiple times. In his early morning haste, he'd forgotten his allergy meds. Derek crouched beside him. "This where they left, Sherlock?" Frank pointed at obvious hoofprints. "My guess is yes, but like you said, it's more important to find them than study the site. This will still be here when we get back. Need to know where to start looking," Derek said. "If they headed for the trees, they could have split up and gone anywhere."